Good day. The topic we are treating today is word problem, basically on sum or what is called addition by Opola Monserrat. Lesson objectives. The objective of this video is to interpret and solve word problems involving sum. That is, you'll be able to interpret a particular statement into a numerical expression and then solve. But it will be basically on addition, so that by the end of the lesson you should be able to interpret statements into numerical problems and then solve them, and there will be statements on addition of numbers. So the topics you must have known before you can watch this video are consecutive numbers. You should know what consecutive numbers are: numbers that follows each other simultaneously, even number, number divisible by 2 without any remainder, odd numbers and numbers that are not divisible by 2, that is, if you should divide them by 2 you have remainder, and prime numbers, numbers that whose factor are 1 and itself. So that's that. So now we move to the main business in the video, which is sum. What is sum? The moment you add two or more numbers together, the result you get is called sum. So if you add 1, 2 and 3 together, which gives 6, so the sum of 1, 2 and 3 is 6, which is the result you got from adding 1, 2 and 3 together. So it says sum, the number one gets when two or more numbers are added together, is called the sum. So now we cite examples on how to convert, how to interpret statements into numerical expression and then solve. Here we already say we are dealing basically on sum, which is addition of numbers. So the first question says we should find the sum of 59 and 78. What does that mean? We should add 59 and 78 and then know the result of adding 59 and 78. Also, second question says we should find the sum of all even numbers that are between 41 and 51. This statement says between, which means 41 and 51 will not be inclusive. So we'll find all even numbers between 41 and 51, sum them, add them together, and then find the result. And that result will be the sum of all the even numbers between 41 and 51. So the same thing is applicable to the third question, which says the sum of 3 consecutive whole numbers, which means the numbers will not have decimal, they won't be fraction. So here we are talking about whole number. They are not negative numbers, they are positive without decimal or fraction. So 3 of them, we don't know them, we don't know the first, we don't know the second, neither we don't know the third consecutive number, but the sum of the 3 numbers that follows each other simultaneously gives 108. We are asked to find the numbers. Also, they said the sum of 3 consecutive odd numbers that follows each other consecutively. We don't know the numbers, but they said the sum of the 3 numbers give 177. We have to find the numbers. The same thing also happens to the fifth question, but here we are talking about consecutive even numbers, which may be 2, 4, 6, it may be 4, 6, 8, it may be 6, 8, 10. You can see that it follows each other consecutively. And the sixth said that the sum of 4 consecutive negative numbers. And something about negative number is that they are different from positive number. Now, when we are dealing with positive number, we know that 2 is greater than 3. 3 is greater than 2, sorry. In positive number, 3 is greater than 2. But when you get to negative number, we know that minus 2 is greater than minus 3. Minus 1 is greater than minus 2. So, minus a lower number is greater than minus a higher number. That's why we say minus 200 is greater than minus 250. So that is negative numbers for you. So now we move to the solution of these examples. So the first example, we are to find the sum of 59 and 78. And what is the definition of sum? The definition of sum says the addition of two or more numbers. Here we have just two numbers. So for you to find the sum, you add the two numbers together. I want you to understand what sum means. Addition of numbers. Sum, addition of two or more numbers. So to find the sum of 59 and 78, we add 59 and 78 together. 59 plus 78 will give 137. Therefore, the sum of 59 and 78, which is the result we got from adding 59 and 78 together, is what? 137. I hope that is understood. The sum is the result you got from adding two or more numbers according to the question given. So here you are given just two numbers. It means sum is the addition of these two numbers given to you. So the second question says we should find the sum of all even numbers between 41 and 51. That between is telling us that 41 and 51 will not be inclusive, and as we are even looking at them, 41 and 51 are not even numbers, they are odd numbers. Because when you divide 41 by 2, you have 20 remainder 1. So since there is a remainder, it means it is a odd number. If for you to get even number, you divide that number by 2 and there won't be any remainder. So now if we should look at 41, the next number after 41 is 42. Is 42 an even number? Can I divide 42 by 2 without any remainder? Yes. 42 divided by 2 will give 21 without any remainder. That means 42 is an even number. 43, can we divide 43 by 2 without any remainder? No. It's going to give us 21 remainder 1. Since there is a remainder, it means it is an odd number. So that is how you do till you get to 50, which is the number before 51. Since we know 51 is not inclusive and it is also an odd number, we stop at 50 according to the question given. So the even numbers between 41 and 51, if you check them very well, are 42, 44, 46, 48 and 50. And the question says we should find the sum of even numbers between 41 and 51. So what is sum? Addition of two or more numbers. So what the question is trying to tell us that we should find the sum, the addition of even numbers between 41 and 50. So now the sum of even numbers between 41 and 50 will now be what? 42 plus 44 plus 46 plus 48 plus 50. And if you should do this using your calculator or working it manually, 42 plus 44 will give what? 86. 86 plus 46 will give us 132. 132 plus 48 will give 180, and 180 plus 50 will give 230. So this is the result we got from adding all even numbers between 41 and 51 together, and that gives the sum of even numbers between 41 and 51, which is what? 230. And this is the conclusive statement that says, therefore the sum of even numbers between 41 and 51 is 230. And that's just how to interpret a statement into numerical expression and then we solve. So the third question says three consecutive numbers, that is three numbers that follows each other consecutively, like 1, 2, 3, they follows each other consecutively. 8, 9, 10, they follow each other consecutively. But there are three consecutive numbers which we don't know, that if we sum them together we have 108. So we now want to find the three consecutive numbers. The sum, that is the addition of the three consecutive numbers, gives 108. Now we are going to find the numbers. The first thing you do when you have that kind of a question is represent the first number which you don't know by a variable. Here we choose x. You can use any variable. You can use k, you can use c, you can use any variable. And assuming 1 is the first number, we are representing the first number here with x. Assuming we say 1 is the first number, for us to get the second number, which is 2, we have to add 1 to the first number, which is 1. That is why we say the second number will be the first number plus 1. Since they are consecutive number, they follow each other consecutively. After the first number, you have the next number, and after the second number, you have the third. So for you to get the second number, you add 1 to the first number. I've explained that. And for you to get the third number, assuming 1 is the first number, if you add 1 to 1, you get 2. If you add 1 to 2, you get 3. So for you to get the third number, you add 1 to the second number. That is why we said the third number will be the second number plus 1. And x plus 1 plus 1 will give what? X plus 2. Therefore, the first number is x. The second number is s plus 1. The third number is s plus 1 plus 1, which will give x plus 2. Let's experiment it. Assuming the first number is 8, the next number after 8 is 9, which is 8 plus 1, 9. I'm just trying to explain how we got this expression to you. I'm not telling you that the consecutive numbers are 8, 9, and 10. Just trying to tell you how these expressions are gotten. Assuming the first number is 8, the second number 8 plus 1, 9, the third number 8 plus 1, 9, plus 1, 10. You can see that is the formula for consecutive number. The first number is x, the second number that follows that first number is x plus 1, and the third number is what? X plus 2. And from the question, we are told that the sum of these consecutive numbers is what? 108. That is, if you should add the consecutive numbers together, you get 108. So from the question, the sum of the three consecutive numbers is 108. That is, the first number plus the second number plus the third number gives 108. Now you collect like terms. These are variables, these and these are numbers. So you put your variable in one side and your numbers in one side. I hope you've been taught that how to add variables and numbers together, how to solve numerical expression involving both variables and number. You add variables together and then you add numbers together. So this one is same thing as saying 1x. 1x plus 1x, 2x plus another 1x here gives 3x. We are through with variable, then we move to number. This is 1 plus 2, which will give 3. And what we have here is addition sign, which is equals to 108. Now we can see that in this particular expression too, this particular equation we have here, we have variable, number, and number. So what do you do again? You collect like terms again. Variable will stay in one side and numbers will stay in the other side. So for you to bring this plus 3 to this other side, plus 3 minus 3 will give 0. You can add minus 3 to both sides. If you add minus 3 to this side, you have 3x plus 3 minus 3, the same thing as saying 3x plus 0, which is 3x, equals to, whatever you do to the left hand side, you also do it to the right hand side. You subtract 3 from the left hand side, you also subtract 3 from the right hand side. So 108 minus 3 equals what? 105. Now, what we are looking for is not 3x. We are looking for the value of x. That is what we want to get. We want to obtain the value of ordinary x. Now we have 3x. This is like 3 multiplied by x. So for we to get the value of x alone, we divide, I said whatever you do to the left hand side, you also do it to the right hand side. So you divide the left hand side by 3 to eradicate the 3 here. If you want to eradicate multiplication, you introduce division. If you want to eradicate addition like this side, you introduce subtraction. If you want to eradicate any positive number, you introduce its negative side. Here, when we want to eradicate plus 3 here, we introduce minus 3 to this side, and whatever you do to this side, we also do to this side. That is why we also introduce minus 3 to this side. For you to eradicate multiplication here, you introduce division. You divide by the coefficient of x, which is 3. So you divide this side by 3 and also divide this side by 3. If you divide this side by 3, 3 here 1, 3 here 1. So 1 multiplied by x will give ordinary x, which is same thing as saying 1x. And then you divide this side by 3. 105 divided by 3 will give 35. You know, the first number is x, which means the first number is what? 35. So for you to get the second number, it will be what? X plus 1, which is what? 35 plus 1, which gives 36. To get the third number, x plus 2 will be 35 plus 2, which is 37. So the consecutive numbers are now 35, 36, and 37. And if you should add 35 to 36, if you should add 35, 36, and 37 together, you will surely get 108. Therefore, the three consecutive numbers whose sum, that is whose addition, is 108 are what? 35, 36, and 37. So that is how to find consecutive number when you are given their sum. So that's that on that. The fourth question says that 3 consecutive odd numbers are summed together and the result gives 177. We should find the odd numbers. So like I said before, odd numbers are numbers that when you divide them by 2, you have a remainder. Now, let's look at the first 3 odd numbers we have. That is 1, 3, and 5. 1, 3, and 5. Those are the first three odd numbers we get. The first thing you get is how to generate your odd numbers. So you see that is either we use 2n minus 1. N will start from 1. Our n will count from 1. Okay, let's test this. If n is 1, 2 multiplied by 1 will give 2, minus 1 will give 1. So when n is 2, because our n will be natural numbers, like I said in binary numbers, natural numbers are numbers from 0 to infinity. So they are everyday numbers we count. Our n here stands for natural numbers. So the generating function for odd number is 2n minus 1. You can use it to generate the whole of all the odd numbers we have. 2 multiplied by 1, our n will be natural numbers. 2 multiplied by 1 minus 1 will give 1. 2 multiplied by 2, 4 minus 1 will give 3, which is the second odd number. 2, after our n we've done for 1 and 2, the next one will be 3. 2 multiplied by 3, 6, minus 1 will give what? We give 5, which is the third odd number. You can see 2n minus 1 is the generating function of odd numbers. So what we say now is that the first odd number will be 2n minus 1, since that is the generating function. Now, for you to get, you can see 1 is an odd number, 3 is an odd number. What is the difference between 1 and 3? That is 2. For you to get the second odd number from the first, you have to add 2 to 1 to get 3. You add 2 to 3 to get 5. You add 2 to 5 to get 7. You can see that the difference between the odd numbers is 2. In the first example, the difference between consecutive number is 1. That is why we are adding 1 to each of the numbers. For you to get the second consecutive number, you add 1 to the first. For you to get the third consecutive number, you add 1 to the second. But here, the difference between odd numbers is 2. For you to get the second odd number, you add 1 to the first odd number. We don't know the odd number we are talking about. The reason why we use 2n minus 1 for the first odd number is that 2n minus 1 can generate any odd number. That is the generating function for odd number. The moment you plug in the value of n, where n is a natural number is like the everyday number we count. So the moment you plug in, the first odd number will be 1. Our n will be 1. For the first number, our n will be 1. 2 multiplied by 1, 2 minus 1 is 1. For you to get the 100th odd number, it will be 2 multiplied by 100, which is 200 minus 1, which is 199. So that is why we said the first odd number will be 2n minus 1. So for you to get the second odd number, you look for the difference. You can just take 2 or 3 odd numbers. Like now we take 1, 3, and 5. What is different between 3, which is the second odd number, from the first, which is 1, is 2. The third odd number from the second odd number, the difference is 2. That's why I said for us to find the second odd number, it will be the first odd number plus 2. That's why I would say 2n minus 1 plus 2. So 2n minus 1, if you should open the bracket, you have 2n minus 1 plus 2. And minus 1 plus 2 will give what? Plus 1. I hope you know how to do that. How to use your signs. Minus 1 plus 2. It means it also means 2 minus 1, which is 1. Now, from the second odd number, you generate the third odd number. This is the second odd number now. For you to know the third odd number, from 3, for you to get 5, you add 2 to 3. So for you to get the third odd number, you add 2 to the second odd number. That is why we have 2n plus 1 plus 2. And if you should open the bracket, you have 2n plus 3. I hope you understand that. This is the generating function for odd numbers. The difference between odd numbers is 2. For you to get the second odd number, you add 2 to the first odd number, and you get this. For you to get the third odd number, you add 2 to the second odd number, then you get this. So now, from the question, this is just like the continuation of the first question. We are told that the sum of those 3 odd numbers is 177. That is, the first odd number plus the second odd number plus the third odd number will give 177. So now we collect like terms, variables in one side and then numbers in one side. So if we want to combine variables, we have 2n plus 2n plus 2n, it will give 6n. And here minus 1 plus 1 will give 0, plus 3 will give 3, equals 177. We still have to collect like terms, like I said. For you to eradicate this, this is variable and number, this is ordinary number, and this is ordinary number. So for you to eradicate this ordinary number, what we are looking for here is n, so that we can plug in that n here and get our odd numbers. So you subtract 3 from the left hand side, and whatever you do to the left hand side, you also do it to the right hand side. 6n plus 3 minus 3 will be 6n plus 0, which will be 6n. 177 minus 3 will give 174. Like I said in the previous question, we are looking for ordinary n, which is the variable. So you divide this side and this side by the coefficient of n here, which is what? 6. That's why I said divide through by 6. So 6n divided by 6 will give n. 174 divided by 6, when you use your calculator, you have 29. So n is 29. You now know the variable in our odd numbers to be 29. So plug in the variable. The first odd number is 2n minus 1. What is n? N is 29. So it's going to be 2 multiplied by 29 minus 1. What is 2 multiplied by 29? We have 58. 58 minus 1 is what? 57. We can see that that is an odd number. The second odd number is what? 2n plus 1. We found that 2 multiplied by what? 59. 2 multiplied by 29, which is the value for n we got, plus 1 will give 59. And the third odd number is what? 2n plus 3, which will be what? 2 multiplied by 29 plus 3, which is 61. We can see that 57, 59 and 61 are three consecutive odd numbers. They follow each other consecutively, and if you should add those three odd numbers together, I'm very sure we get 177, because 57 plus 59 will give what? 116, and 116 plus 61 will give 177. So therefore, the three consecutive odd numbers whose sum is 177 are 57, 59 and 61. So that is how to find. That is, in this particular example, you know that the generating function for odd number is 2n minus 1, and the difference between odd numbers is 2. So from the first odd number, to get the second odd number, you add 2 to the first odd number. For it to get the third odd number, you add 2 to the second odd number. Now we move to even numbers. In the fifth question, we are told that the sum of three consecutive even numbers is what? Is 258. We are to look for the even number. This is also the same procedure as that of odd numbers. The only thing that is going to change here is that the generating function for even number is 2n. You know, the first odd number is 2, and I've told you in the first question that n is a natural number, starting from what? 1, 2, 3 up to infinity. So for you to get the first odd number, we all know 2 multiplied by 1 is 2. Second number, when n is 2, 2 multiplied by 2, 4. The third, n is 3, 2 multiplied by 3, 6. We can see that that is the generating function for even number. Now, what is the difference between the first even number 2 and the second even number 4? The difference is what? 2. The second even number and third even number, which is 6, the difference between them is 2. You can see that the difference between all even numbers is 2. So for you to get the second even number, you add 2 to the first even number. That is why we have 2n plus 2. And for you to get the third even number, you add 2 to the second even number, which is 2n plus 2, which is the second even number, plus 2. That will give 2n plus 4. So from the question, the sum of three consecutive, the reason why we are adding 2 to them is that they follow each other consecutively. The sum of the three consecutive even number is 258. Here, the first even number is 2n plus, sum means addition. The second even number, 2n plus 2, plus the third even number, 2n plus 4. The result is what? 258. Now we collect the like terms. 2n, number and variable, number and variable, number and variable, 2n plus 2n plus 2n, 6n. Here, plus 2 plus 4 will give 6. That's why we have 6n plus 6 equals to 58. Now you know how we eradicate this number. This is number and variable, ordinary number, ordinary number. So for us to eradicate this, we introduce minus 6, and whatever we do to the left hand side, we also do it to the right hand side. Minus 6 here too. So 6n plus 6 minus 6 will be 6n plus 0, which will give 6n. 258 minus 6 will give 252. And for us to get the value of n, we divide both sides by the coefficient of n, which is 6. So 6n divided by 6 will give n, and 252 divided by 6 will give 42. So now, the first even number is what? 2n. Since we now have the value of n to be 42, we now go back to our expression for the first, second, and third even number. The first even number is what? 2n. And our n is what? 42. This means 2 multiplied by 42, which is 84. The second even number is what? 2n plus 2, which is 2 multiplied by 42 plus 2. 84 plus 2 will give 86. And the third even number is what? 2n plus 4, which is 2 multiplied by 42, 84 plus 4, 88. You can see 84, 86, 88 are even numbers that follows each other. 84, 86, 88. And if we should add them together, we will see that the result is what? 258. So that is that about how to get consecutive numbers, consecutive even numbers and consecutive odd numbers. The first even number will be the generating function of even number or odd number. The second even number, you add 2 to the first even number, and for you to get the third even number, you add 2 to the second even number. Assuming they say 4 even numbers, for you to get the fourth even number, you add 2 to the third even number. So that is that on that. Now we'll move to the sixth question. The sixth question says 4 negative numbers, the sum of 4 negative numbers gives what? Minus 66. 4 consecutive negative numbers, that is, those negative numbers follows each other simultaneously. So, and if you add them together, you get minus 66. What are those numbers? The first thing you do, I told you that for the, let's say minus 1 is the first negative number. For it to get minus 2, which is the second negative number, you subtract 1 from minus 1. Minus 1 minus 1 give minus 2. For it to get the third negative number, which is minus 3, you subtract 1 from minus 2. Minus 2 minus 1 will give minus 3. That's that. So the first thing you say is, let the first negative number be what? A. The first negative number, A, let's say A is minus 1. If you want to get minus 2, it will be minus 1 minus 1. You subtract 1 from minus 1. So for you to get the second negative number, you subtract 1 from the first negative number, which is A. A minus 1 will give the second negative number. To get the third negative number, you subtract 1 from the second negative number, which is what? A minus 1 minus 1. And A minus 1 minus 1 will give what? Minus 1 minus 1 will give minus 2. I think you are conversant with that, how to add numbers together. Minus 1 minus 1 means you owe somebody 1 naira, you still owe, negative means debts. Negative means debt. You owe somebody 1 naira, you still owe that person 1 naira again. That means you are owing 2 naira. This is minus 2. That is, I'm teaching you how to sum, how to add things together. Minus 1 will give minus 2. So this is the third negative number. For you to get the fourth negative number, you subtract 1 from the third negative number. And third negative number is A minus 2. You subtract 1 minus 1, which is what? A minus 2 minus 1 will give what? A minus 3. So you now have expressions for all your negative number. The first negative number is A. Second negative number, A minus 1. Negative numbers. Assuming it is positive number. From the first positive number, for you to get the second positive number, you add 1 to it. But when it comes to negative number, from the first negative number, for you to get the second negative number, you subtract 1 from the first negative number. So here, the first negative number is what? A. The second negative number, A minus 1. The third negative number, A minus 2. And the fourth negative number, A minus 3. And the question says, the sum, the addition of those 4 consecutive negative number gives what? Minus 66. So it means the first negative number plus the second negative number plus the third negative number plus the fourth negative number gives minus 66. So as usual, you add the variables together, you put them in one side, and then you add the numbers together, you put them in one side. So A plus A plus A plus A will give 4A. So this is, this is plus. Plus multiplied by minus will give minus. Minus 1 so A plus A plus A plus A will give 4A. Minus 1 plus minus 2 will give minus 3. And minus 3 minus 3 will give minus 6 equals to minus 66. Like I told you earlier, if you want to eradicate minus 6, you introduce plus 6. So if you add 6 to this side, you also add 6 to this side. All what you are doing is we have to manipulate for us to get the value of ordinary A, because that is what we need. So you add plus 6 to this side, you have 4A minus 6 plus 6, which will be 4a. Minus 6 plus 6 is you are owing 6 naira and you have 6 naira. If you should pay the 6 naira, you are left with what? Nothing. So minus 6 plus 6 will give 0. So 4a plus 0 will give 4a. Here, minus 6, whatever you do to this side, you do it to this side too. You add plus 6, you add 6 to this side, you also add 6 to this side. So minus 6 plus 6, it means you owe somebody 66 naira and you pay 6 naira. You are left with a debt of 60 naira. So that's the meaning of minus 60. That is just the logic in you adding things together. When it comes to maybe minus something plus something, for you, that is just the real life application. So 4a will be equals to minus 60. Like we've been doing, for you to get ordinary a, you divide through by what? The coefficient of a, which is 4. So that's why I said divide through by 4. You divide this side by 4 and you also divide this side by 4. So 4a divided by 4 will give a, and minus 60 divided by 4, when you use a calculator, you get minus 15. Now you move to, a is the first negative number and you've gotten the answer, which is minus 15. Now the first negative number is what? A, minus 15. So from the first negative number, you can get the second negative number, which is what? A minus 1. What is the value of a? Minus 15 minus 1. So you owe somebody 15 naira, you also owe 1 naira. It means you are owing what? 16 naira. That is just the real life application. The third negative number, you can get it from the second negative number, and from the expression, we know that the third negative number is what? A minus 2. A here is what? Minus 15. Minus 15 minus 2, like I've explained here, is what? Minus 17. And the fourth negative number is what? A minus 3. Minus 15 minus 3 will give minus 18. So the four consecutive negative number in which, if you add them together, you get minus 66 is what? Minus 15, minus 16. Can say that they follow each other consecutively, minus 17 and minus 18. Therefore, the four consecutive negative numbers whose sum is minus 66 are what? Minus 15, minus 16, minus 17 and minus 18. So let's check if it is correct. Minus 15 minus 16, like I said, you owe somebody 15 naira, you also owe 16 naira. It means you are owing what? 31 naira, which is minus 31. Minus 31 plus minus 17, minus times plus will give minus. So minus 31 minus 17 will give minus 48, if you follow my explanation. And minus 48 plus minus 18, minus times plus will give what? Minus. Minus 48 minus 18 will give minus 66. So these are the consecutive negative numbers whose sum gives minus 66. So these are exercises for you to solve, and please submit all exercises latest by Sunday evening. The one for binary numbers and this, then our next video will be more on word problems with sample questions and solutions. So in the next video, we'll talk about difference and products. We know what difference is and what product is, and we also solve examples on them. So till next lesson. Thanks.